Okay, so the collector to base bias circuit, where it is similar to the fixed bias circuit, only except that the RB was connecting to VCC in the fixed bias, and here the RB, the base terminal, is connected to the directly to the collector terminal of the transistor. The base terminal is connected to the collector terminal of the transistor through resistance, through a base resistance RB. Okay, so that is only the difference here. So again, here, if you want to analyze this circuit, this configuration, again what we can do, we will replace a capacitors with an open circuit. That is, we will remove these capacitors. So now we can easily analyze a DC bias. First of all, why this collector to base bias circuit is required? So as we were going for a fixed bias to control the transistor and the input and outputs, here the fixed collector to base bias circuit is more, it is a improved method of fixed method, improvement over the fixed bias method. So basically this is more stable than the fixed bias. That is why, that is the reason why we are going for collector to base bias circuit. And another one is there will be a huge reduction in the base current here. That actually we require. Base current should be very less because we don't want much current to be lost here. That is why we want a base current to be very less and a collector current to be very high, so it can pass through collector to emitter. That is what our actual requirement. So what here happen, that in the sentences it is written here in the paragraph, it is DC bias with voltage feedback. So this collector to base bias circuit is also called as a DC bias with voltage feedback. So what is this voltage feedback? See what is happening here. The collector terminal where we are going to get an output, to that collector terminal, the base is connected. It is fed back to the base. The current which is flowing into the collector current is fed back to the base terminal here through RB. So it is a feedback from output to the input. So it is a fed back towards the input side. That is why it is also called as voltage feedback. DC bias with a voltage feedback circuit. And because of its stability, this circuit is having a higher stability than the fixed bias method. So we are going for this configuration. And why it is stable than the fixed bias is the resistor RB is connected between the collector and base of the transistor to provide this feedback. Because of this feedback, it is more efficient or stable than the fixed bias because of this feedback. So here what actually happens is when a current starts flowing from this VCC through RC, that current is fed into the collector terminal. So at this collector terminal, the current is going to be divided. Okay, how much, whatever the current we are getting at this junction, at the collector terminal, collector point, that is going to be divided here. In what terms it is going to be divided? Once one part is flowing through a base terminal through RB, and another path directly into the transistor. Okay, so again here two loops are going to be created. So we'll see those two loops. Which are those two loops? One is base circuit and applying voltage law, then what we used to get, that is from VCC, RC, RB to base terminal to the emitter. So this is one loop, and another one loop is collector circuit, that is directly from collector to emitter. As in the fixed bias also we had two loops, one is through base and another one is through from collector, correct? Here also the same, collector to emitter is the second loop, collector to base and then emitter is the first loop here. So if you apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to these loops, for the first loop what we will get, VCC is there, so minus the drop across this RC, the drop across this RC is IB plus IC into RC minus, okay, and then again the current is flowing towards the base, so RB is coming up here, so the drop across RB is going to be minus IB RB, and again there is a voltage VBE in this path from base to emitter, so that minus VBE is equal to 0. Okay, so total VCC is equal to RB plus RC. So IB, as IB is going to be as IB is going to be common here, here and here, IB is common, so what we will get, RB plus RC into IB plus IC into RC plus VBE. Okay, you shift all these terms on the right hand side. So VCC will become this, and then from this again what is our main intention, how much current is going to be flown into the base terminal, because that is the main important. So here IB is equal to VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus beta into RC. So what is this beta actually? So this beta is nothing but IC. This one we have seen. IC is always equivalent to beta into IB. Okay, so this beta into IB into RC, you just select IB, we will get this expression. Whereas the beta should always be more than 1. Beta is a gain, that in the previous class we have discussed about that. Okay, so this is for the first loop, that is from where to where, from collector to the base and then emitter. This is the first one loop that we have discussed now. Okay, and what about the second loop? It is from directly VCC towards collector and towards emitter. So what are the parameters here? One is we have IC plus IB and another one VCE, right? So here this is the second loop. Okay, so whereas VCC is directly applied minus IC plus IB into RC. This is the voltage drop across the RC, and then minus another source what we have, VCE, collector to emitter voltage. So that is going to be equal to 0. And what about VCE that we are going to operate for this transistor is VCC minus IC into RB into, sorry, IC plus RB into RC. Okay, so main basically because of this, the as the current is increasing here, IC plus IB into RC, because of the current is more in the collector terminal, and the same current is going to be applied to the is flowing through the base terminal. But because of, and again what we have here, RB, base resistor. So because of this base resistor, there is a reduction in IB as well as the VCE. VCE also reduces and IB also reduces, but there will be a more current in the collector terminal as directly it is been applied here. So this is the reason where it is maintaining a stable value. So of collector current, IC will remain stable. See here, collector current tends to increase. The collector current is increasing, and what is happening? The drop across RC increases. The voltage decreases here at the RC. Current increases and voltage decreases. So because of this, voltage VCE will remain reduction, as well as IB is also reducing. Why? Because this RB. Therefore, the result is that the circuit tends to maintain a stable value of collector current. Okay. Hope you have understood this.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shall I ask just one question for this? What is an advantage of this configuration over the fixed bias? Can anyone tell me? It is in front of you only.
Sir, it helps in improving stability.
Yes, stability increases. Because of stability, we are going for this configuration. And how it is?
Sir, because the value of IC is increasing and the voltage across RL is also increasing, so VC will be increased.
VCE will be decreased.
Sir, VC will be
VCE
decreased.
will not increase here. VC will decrease. Why VC is going to decrease? Because of this RC.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And why the current in base terminal is decreasing? Because of this RB. Because of these two, what is happening? The collector current is more. Collector current is more. Base current is less. And also collector to emitter voltage is going to be less. If the voltage is less, the current is going to be more, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is why the high current is flowing through collector to emitter, and only with the very low VCE and IB. That is our aim here. So is this okay? The loop calculation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, that is fine. And there is one more configuration is there that you have to study about this transistor biasing is voltage divider bias circuit. Okay, so this is the circuit what we have here. Okay, the circuit main basically this voltage divider bias circuit gives us a very good Q point stability. Again, it is a comparison with the uh, collector to base biasing. Okay, Q point, we can say that a quality point, a very good uh, Q point stability is provided by this voltage divider bias. So this is one more configuration that is giving us a stability. Okay, with a single polarity supply, right? Now voltage divider, how voltage divider we can say that? See here, the VCC is being applied between the collector point and base terminal. Now for this base terminal, there are two resistors connected, R1 and R2. So these R1 and R2 are providing uh, voltage dividing, concept. Okay, because of this voltage dividing, a very small amount of current will flow through this base, and a heavy current flows through collector. And again, the configuration remains stable. Okay, so how we will see that here? Okay, it has been determined here. How we can calculate all these things? First step is, as usual, locate capacitors with the replace them with the open circuit. Okay, remove the capacitors, and then we will be remaining with only DC analysis of this transistor. Okay, now simplify the circuit using Thevenin's theorem, or locate two main loops. So again we will get two main loops here, base to emitter loop, collector to emitter loop. Here we have seen that where the fixed bias, we have seen that here. See, this is base to emitter loop and collector to emitter loop, two loops. Here also same. So now here, what is the second step? Simplified circuit using Thevenin's theorem. That is what? See, when we remove these capacitors, the circuit looks like this. Now here, apply a Thevenin's theorem. I hope you have come across a Thevenin's theorem. Have you heard about this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No? Okay. So
No, sir.
Thevenin's theorem is in a simple word, in a simple way, I'll tell you. It is a calculation of all the resistance and all the voltage sources in a circuit. Okay, calculation, or we are making an average of complete circuit voltage and resistance. We call it as Thevenin's theorem. Okay, so here, so this is our main circuit now after removing the capacitors. Now here, these two resistance R1 and R2 are providing R1 and R2 are providing voltage dividing concept. Voltage dividing concept. So here the calculation of R1 and R2, as they are in parallelly connected, what is the resistance what that we will get from this R1 and R2? So you know that
R1
yeah, R1 into R2 divided by
R1 plus R2.
R1 plus R2. This is the
Resistance in parallel.
yes, resistance in parallel. Okay, so R1 and R2 are being connected. So total resistance we will get it as RTH, Thevenin's resistance. We call it as Thevenin's resistance. Same as when we apply a voltage, what is the total voltage applied on this base? The IB is going to be flown up here, correct? So what is the total voltage that is applied on this terminal, base terminal? So that how we can calculate the voltage VCC is applied on the base, but that VCC is going to be applied to the base through R1 and R2. Okay, so you know, I hope you people know the voltage dividing formula. Do you people know that? It is the total voltage into multiply with the resistance where we require the voltage divided by the whole volt resistance. See, like this. VTH, that is Thevenin's voltage, is equal to R2 into VCC. VCC is being applied here. And on which resistance we want to know that? On the R2 resistance, we want to know how much voltage is being applied. So VCC into R2 divided by the total resistance of this circuit now. That is R1 plus R2. Okay, so that we will get VTH. So that VTH is Thevenin's voltage. So what is the Thevenin's voltage here? It is R2 into VCC divided by R1 plus R2. See, like if I have a voltage source here, okay, now I will put one point here, output. Now say this is 1 kilovolt ohms and this is 1 kilo ohm. Say something, this is about 10 volts. So now here this is R1, this is R2. Okay, so now if I want to calculate the voltage on this R2, then how I will calculate? V2 equals to R2 divided by, sorry, R2 into, what is the total voltage?
10.
10 volts. How much R2? 1K, or say only 1 ohm and 1 ohms. Remove this K.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, screen is not visible, sir.
Screen is not visible. Now?
So it means the thing what you are writing is not visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Now you can see the screen. What I'm writing. Wait. Now
Yes, sir. Now we can.
Now we can, sir.
Okay, so this was our voltage load circuit. This was R1, this was R2. Okay. Yeah. So now, if I want to calculate the voltage on this R2, so V2 is equals to, this was 1
R
ohm. Okay, 1 ohm R2. What is the resistance of this R2? Is 1 ohm into 10 volts
10
divided by R1 plus
2.
R2. That is 2. Sorry. So how much we used to get?
5.
5 volts, no?
Yes, sir.
See, because R1 is also 1 ohm and R2 is also 1 ohm, because R1 is also 1 ohm and sorry, R2 is also 1 ohm. In between this, what we are getting? A voltage of 5. It is been divided now. Correct?
Yes, sir.
This
Yes,
is
sir.
this is the concept of voltage dividing. If suppose 1 and 2, R1 is 1 and R2 is 2, how much we used to get? 2 into 10 is 20. 20 divided by 3.
6.6.
Yes, again the voltage is divided here. In the total of 10 voltage, R2 is consuming 6 voltage or 6.3 voltage, and the remaining 3.3 voltage is 3.7 voltage is consumed by R1
R1.
R1.
resistance. Okay, so how this is how the voltage is going to be divided. This is the voltage divided by a circuit. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So here we have to calculate RTH and VTH. RTH is a total resistance applied here, and VTH is total voltage applied on this base terminal. So this circuit will become like this after Thevenin's theorem. Okay. So in the third step, we are locating the two main loops here. From this circuit, what we are getting, one is base to emitter loop, another one is collector to emitter loop.
Emitter loop.
So again, when we apply Kirchhoff's voltage law, we will get IB. You can easily calculate this. Okay, this is first one, VTH minus IB into RTH minus VBE minus IE into RE. So again, okay, one more resistance we have added here. In the previous two configurations, we did not have RE, emitter resistance here. Now we have RE here. So IE into RE. So we basically know that IE is equals to the first, I think this one also we have discussed. IE is equals to beta in plus 1 into IB. Okay. So when we substitute this for IE, the IB will become this expression, VTH minus VBE divided by RTH plus beta plus 1 into RE. And when we apply voltage, Kirchhoff's voltage law on second loop, VCE, we will get VCC minus IC into RC plus RE. So we can compare this. I will share this document. I think the time is also up here. The meeting is going to be end. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
We just go through all these expressions. Okay, practice them. I'll send this complete document to the group.
Okay, sir.
Fine. And if I okay, fine. I'll send it.